We did have two of our girls bowlers that made it to the state bowling tournament as an individual. Both of them are juniors and will be returning next year as senior bowlers. Kaylee Bonnywell and also Alicia Yakino. Alicia was also named the Federal League Bowler of the Year this year, and when she went to the state meet, she finished 5th place individually and obviously got recognized as All Ohio, so they did a great job. Moving on, we also had one girls swimmer that was able to obtain the status of the state qualifier. This was her 3rd time achieving that status, and it's senior Leanna Myers who qualified in the 100 breaststroke. We had quite a few of the boys swimmers and divers that actually competed at Brandon at the state level this past winter, and I know a lot of them are here tonight. So what I'm going to start with the divers, Zach Shearing, freshman. Zach, are you here? Okay. And Jack Forsythe, senior. Those two individuals qualified for the state meet. One finished 22nd and one at 23rd for our boys swimming and diving teams. I do know a majority of our relays that qualified are here tonight. So when I call your name, would you please come forward? Junior Jason Tondra. Senior Josh Fellman. Senior Nick Dye. Senior Sean Ream. I do not believe that junior Ted Kinney could make it. These gentlemen, as a group, qualified in 2 different events, both the 200 freestyle relay and the 400 freestyle relay. Nick was the alternate to this group, but they all obviously competed throughout the year and did a great job throughout the sectionals and districts advancing to the state. The 200 free relay finished 24th in the state, and the 400 free relay finished 14th. In addition, Sean is actually competed in a 3rd event individually in the 200 free. Sean's a senior, Josh is a senior, Jason, as I mentioned, is a junior. So they had an outstanding season again, winning the Federal League for our boys in swimming and diving team. So congratulations to our swimmers and divers. Our next young man that we'd like to recognize came from our boys basketball team, senior Jarrett Pilata. Jarrett, come forward, please. As a senior this year, Jarrett not only was 1st team All Federal League and 1st team this and this and this, but he was also named the Federal League Player of the Year. Something that's probably very rare is that we have a Federal League Player of the Year in 2 separate sports, especially so different sports such as football and basketball that Jarrett competed in. But not only he was the Federal League Player of the Year in both of those sports, but he was also named 1st team All Ohio in both of those sports. So again, a fantastic season for Jarrett, not only in basketball this winter, but also in football. So congratulations, Jarrett Pilata. We had a great season also in wrestling as well, and our wrestling coach was recognized for the achievements of the team. Our wrestling team this year finished with an overall record of 15-7, but was 5-1 in the Federal League, and it was the 2nd consecutive year that we finished 2nd in the Federal League, which is an outstanding achievement with recognizing that Perry is one of those teams in our league. So with that being said, we would like to recognize our head coach, Mr. Joe Kanopic, who was named the Federal League Coach of the Year this year. And we all know it just doesn't happen with head coaches, but the entire staff. So we're fortunate enough, I saw at least 2 of our wrestling assistants that were here tonight. You don't have to walk up, but Corky Marcelli, I think you're here. Would you stand, Corky? Thank you. And Dave Talarczyk. Dave, would you stand, please? Thank you. And then we had a couple of individuals this year that obviously had great seasons throughout the regular season, but then when it got to tournament time, they really took off. And the first individual I'd like to recognize is senior Tyler Talarczyk. Come on up, Tyler. Tyler has put a lot of time into the wrestling room and the weight room over those 4 years and prior. And obviously he had a goal, and his goal was achieved. He wanted to make it to the state wrestling tournament, and he's had some difficulties staying healthy throughout the course of his career, but this year he stayed healthy and he got there. And if anybody was over at North Canton Hoover on the match that qualified him to the state at the district, and seeing him run off the mat and jump into his father's arms, it was quite a sight to behold, and something I'll always remember. So congratulations, Tyler, on a great season. Our next individual, Victor Marcelli, senior. Come on up, Victor. Well, Victor certainly has had adversity in his life, but obviously he has overcome that adversity in numerous ways. And we look at Victor, a 4-time state qualifier, by the way, 3-time state placer, and probably we could be talking about Victor about this time last year, and maybe this time as a sophomore if he didn't have injuries at the incorrect time. As a sophomore, he got injured in the state tournament and ended up and had to finish 6th, but he was probably the best wrestler in the state of Ohio as a sophomore. And then as a junior, unfortunately, after his season, well, he got hurt again as a junior, but then you know, those things happen, but he persevered, was able to come back in the state tournament as a junior and finish 3rd, or actually it was 6th last year, wasn't it? 6th. I had that vice versa. But he would have finished 3rd. In fact, he would have finished 1st if he hadn't got sick. He was so sick the last day that he couldn't wrestle his last 2 matches. But he persevered, came back strong this year, and actually leaves not only our school, but Stark County with a Stark County record of most wins of any individual wrestler ever in this county, with 57 wins. 57-1 was his final record. Obviously another wrestling state champion that we have. First for Victor, but what a great season. Congratulations to Victor Marcelli. I might want to add that Victor also was not only first team All-League, but he was also the Federal League Wrestler of the Year as well. Senior Taylor Mikesell. Taylor, please come forward. If you don't know it, Taylor is a girls basketball player for us, and she's going to leave Jackson High School with, this is an amazing statement, 30 school records, 30 individual school records. And most people are really good if you leave with 1 school record. She's got 30, almost every single record you can keep. Taylor's got her name on it. She not only has 30 school records, but she also has 2 state records. Now, what that means is nobody in the state, not just this year nor last year, but in the history of Ohio girls basketball, has ever scored more or made more 3-pointers in a season, or made more 3-pointers in one specific game than what Taylor accomplished this year. So congratulations, Taylor. And before we give her one last round of applause, you may also have recognized that Taylor was chosen as one of the 8 high school girl athletes to go to San Antonio, the site of the boys' Final Four, and to compete in a 3-point shooting competition. This was televised and broadcast not live, but on tape delay the following weekend on CBS, and we were able to watch Taylor Mikesell become the National High School Girls 3-point champion for 2018. Congratulations, Taylor.